Hello, this is Baseka Ronald and I'm calling from South Africa. I came here to talk about the MM ideology. You know, this modern world is bad. It's inhuman. It's unjust. This is the world of money. It's not for people. It's not for those who produce this money. It's for bankers and it's not for financiers. Government and it's not for millionaires. And people are mere pawns in this game. They just serve them as attendants, do bankers, work less, and earn 100 times more. What lies behind the social welfare? But what live 100 times better than common people who really work hard? Do the bankers work harder? Definitely they don't. In addition, they do not even produce any material values as opposed to the workers. Why difference in incomers? Many hold sincerity now. Well, a banker and the worker, they cannot be compared. The banker, the head of the bank, he has the power over money and is well connected. And we are the ordinary people having no power or cloth. Near the banker lives better than we do. Well, there's nothing natural here. The point is that everyone got used to the state of affairs and takes it as a matter of course. People believe this is the way of the world, that a banker has to live better, and it cannot be. But in reality, things are different, and the situation can be changed. Yet, why? Why does the banker work less but live better? Better than a factory worker, a miner, oil rigger, or woodcutter? Because exactly, it's all about money. Money, this is the whole point, the cornerstone. And about it, we should talk in more details. If money is a measure of labor, why is the world? So, what is money? Have you ever thought about it? Maybe it's a calculation tool or a measure of labor. As we are told from childhood, we have to work, because money won't fall from the tree, from the sky, or from the trees. It should be honestly and hard earned. Everyone from the club. It's interesting. What would billionaires say to that? Who honestly earned all their billions? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Well, we work without cease. But what should we expect in the end? Low wages and pensions and no rest, but a constant struggle with debts. And you have spent all your life working for billionaire. You have been taken away all your power, energy, and health. You've been squeezed like a lemon. And after that, you've been just thrown into the dustbin as a right. It is right. But that's the world. This is horrific reality of the modern society. This is what we should all expect in the end. Almost certainly, everything ends up in this way for the vast majority in today's world. As it ended up, as had to end up in the present state of affairs for their children and grandchildren, great grandchildren, then in their turn for their children and grandchildren, and so on and so on. That's the way of the world. Why? All this is wrong, unfair. It's not, it must not exist. Why do some people have everything, but others have nothing? Why do some people walk in golden slippers, but the others barely meet ends meet? They don't know how to feed their children. Although all of them work honestly. Why does it happen? Yet we are the people. We are evil. Then why? Because there's a lie around us, a huge, continuous, monstrous, embarrassing lie. Do not be that is broadcasted daily on TV by satiated, all well-grown masters of life. And people are not equal. And the man is not even the measure of labor. All this is always we are surrounded by a lie. And still most people trust it and continue to live in the unfair and unjust world. Why do they cheat you? Just to make it easy to control you. It's everyone. It's, imagine yourself a billionaire now, or even an ordinary worthless member of the parliament. Are you equal? Equal in what? You live in a different way, eat in a different way, and dress in a different way. In one day, he spends more than you spend for a year. His wife is wearing underclothes more expensive than the whole wardrobe of your wife. He's treated in the best Swiss clinics. And what about you? His children and yours. Have you compared? Well, where is your equality? Perhaps you are equal in the rights, aren't you? Oh, but we forgot about, as it's written in the constitution of different countries, isn't it? But what kind of equal rights do we have with oligarchs and bankers? Just curious. The right to work. Well, we have such a right. However, some here work for peanuts, whereas the others hardly earn anything. The right to elect and to be elected. Well, you can elect, of course, you are welcome. And what about to be elected? Here is a quite different story. To take part in election campaigns, you need a lot of money. And where is it coming from? You never earn it as a typical worker. Therefore, in government, there are people who have extensive financial stock. It's problematic to participate in elections of for an average person, and there's no way to win. In fact, people are not equal in anything. Constant progression is also an inequality picture. So, what is money? Of course, money is not any measure of labor. These are fairy tales of idiots. Otherwise, would live like a lord, or maybe you don't work much enough. Unfortunately, money is just a tool to hold all of us in slavery or bondage. We are all slaves, slaves of money. More precisely, we are slaves of those who print money. They are our masters. In fact, nothing has been changed at all during all these centuries of the earth. We have been living so far in the slave owning system, gone merely external, more civilized and sophisticated. If anciently slaves had real shackles, rust and steel, then today they are merely invisible. Though they still exist, we don't seem to have them and can go wherever we want. There are no shackles. We are supposedly free. However, things are different. It's money that our shackles. That is our shackles in the modern world. In practice, none of us is free. Freedom is an illusion. Money, that's the point. We are here nothing without money. We need food, live in a cave, and even go hunting. We need money. It's necessary to have money everywhere because everything around is just for money. We cannot make a single step without it. But where can we find money? Maybe earn it. Have you ever wondered that it is immoral to trade yourself? That's the kind of prostitution to sell your own strength, brains, and time. What's the difference from the trading of your own body? Well, but you will object that people have to work. If everybody will stop doing his job, what's going to happen then? You resettle in caves again, won't we? This is ridiculous. The same convincing arguments could be had, for sure, in the slave society, when the slaveholders had been trying to make understand their slaves, who, for some reason, didn't want to work for them, and ask different questions. And later, the same arguments, the landlords saw themselves clear and confidently. After all, if you stop working, what's going to happen then? Our society will collapse and we die of hunger. Yes, to work, to create something useful for our society. Otherwise, society will degrade and die. But firstly, we have to work voluntarily, not for a bowl of soup, and not only in order to survive. We have to do what we like. Subject. Once it's all people are equal, and then so let everybody work. The situation when some people earn more money in the mines and the factory, wasting their effort and health, while others simply print it back a cocktail is abnormal. Such a situation is not acceptable in principle, and there's no explanations and excuses to this state of affairs. Absolutely not. Money is just a paper, candy wrappers, which is not backed by anything tangible. And according to that, money is simply printed unless strictly to anyone's heart's content. And then these candy wrappers are distributed among all the slaves as wages of labor. When we are given an extra wrapper, salaries, we are shocked. That's arbitrarity. The whole financial world is a pyramid. How is the financial world organized? It's a pyramid. The US Federal Reserve System is at top of it. The FED creates dollars. How much? As much as they want. Of course, FED are there to some of their own internal rules and regulations. They try, for example, to create $2 million to prevent complete devaluation of the currency and etc. But the Fed can get that. At least there are no external limitations for that. Absolutely. The US Fed is guided solemnly by the reasons of expediency. The lower levels of this global pyramid are the central banks of different countries all over. Of course, all of this is rather simplified, but in general, everything reflects an overall picture. Actually, why do we need banks? Speaking figuratively, the role of blood vessels in the social organism. Through these vessels, the money from the heart, which is enters all its organs. Money, which is the blood, wash these organs and bring life to them. Such an interesting comparison. In which connection dollars are mentioned here, and what relations are the FED have to us? Ordinary people basically the most direct relations. After all, the dollar is a global currency. No one central bank can print its currency in desired quantity without permissions of the US. If it's out of as soon as some the USA for beyond dollars, then it will be allowed to print the local currency in the amount of $1 billion. Now it's permitted, and this is the only way. Otherwise, such a country will be turned down all out of the IMF. Its currency will be inconvertible, and so short be taken, and yet when the worker we still have no answer. He prints money, and the worker, for example, builds a house or works in the mining industry. It's also very important. Does the banker work harder and give more benefits to the society? Of course not. Then why does he live better? And one more interesting question in addition. I've been working and working, completing the whole plan with a clear conscience, daily from morning to night, for public benefit. As it seems, I've been doing my best. But anyway, I can't pay off the loan. And all of my friends are in the same situation. It's obviously wrong and unfair. This is knowledge. Why do we all? In short, they make fools of the common people. As usual, nothing new. The rich take advantage of the fact that we simple workers don't have time to figure out all these tricky schemes. We have to feed our families. That's why they take advantage of the situation. How do bankers deceive people? Let's figure out quietly and without haste. But you have to strain your brains. It's not easy to unravel in a couple of minutes. Those things which have been tangled during the centuries by the best sophisticated minds of the mankind, seeking only wealth, accumulation for their personal needs. Okay, so what do we have in the end? What happens in today's world? It appears that banks without problems. Only the Fed can produce money, but the banks they either. And in fact, these banks multiply money without, and we are still wondering, why does the banker live better? It's clear now why. The only one who produces the money, of course, but it's not enough. From this moment, you ask, what is the trick? The trick is, in fact, that the bank has a lot of such Stevens, thousands and millions, and they will never come for their money at all once. If Steven comes, the bank will turn him the money of 10 other depositors. That is it. It means that the bank's debt is virtual. It exists only on paper, all in the computer program. It will never be repaid in reality. Only in case of panic, it happens. When frightened, maybe the owner, for example, Steven, suddenly come for their money at all once. All many other reasons why banks go bankrupt from time to time. Here's why. Because there's not enough money for all the depositors. There is a 90% of thin air in the bank vaults. Therefore, the bank is okay. It sails before the wind. We don't need to worry about it. But our Adam has serious problems. How? How will we repay all the debts owed in the bank? Moreover, with interest and possibly penalties, you'll be forced to take new credits in order to repay the old ones. Then again, the new loan and again. So we are servants of this inefficient and unfair global financial system. We spawned this ruthless and inhuman mechanism, and this mechanism must be finally destroyed. That's why a new financial system will be established, the financial apocalypse. This is the only thing that can break our financial chains and save us all. Release us finally from the continuous slavery. Everything old will be burnt in its fire, and the new will appear. The Fed will be removed from power, and they will no longer develop social inequality. The banks, as they will now, simply disappear. They will stop robbing the people. In fact, the banks don't produce anything useful. What useful can they do? Giving credits to primarily interest, as a result, all the population is burdened with debts. Nevertheless, more banks were created for other purposes. They aren't interested in the society, but their own goals. People ain't important for them. Modern banks are royal servants for the FED, misusing products of labor and common financial. So, we need freedom, and this freedom is here today. Thanks to financial apocalypse, this is inevitable and unavoidable. Since now it's just a question of time, the seed has been dropped and it will grow. It's already growing right now at this moment, and it will not perish. What is and what does it stand for? Is a global mutual aid fund, the World People's Bank, the financial social network, all any definition whatsoever. The point is not in the title. The bottom line is this is a voluntary, informal association of millions and millions of people throughout the earth, labeled against the financial slavery, chose to declare war against the FED and the banks. And for this aim, they have consolidated their capital. Even though they are small amounts, owing to a great number, that is millions of people, it's already a power, awesome and invisible power. It's growing every day. And now we have an alternative. It's something here people help each other. Today we help and tomorrow we'll be helped. It's the main principle of MM. Do you really want bankers to buy another limousine in your house for your money? You should not become another slave. Better join MM and your money will help those who really need it. Poor people, retirees, desire, love thy neighbor, help him. Actually, people don't need your money. They need consciousness and they have it. Confidence is tomorrow's day is what everybody here needs. It's just MM. That gives confidence. It gives a feeling of partnership that you aren't alone. At this difficult moment, you will never be abandoned, but will always be helped and supported. MM is a unit of new society, brighter and better. New world where there will be money, current money, where everything will be otherwise, fair and honest. There won't be any slaves and owners, where everybody will work for their own pleasures, society, where good will defeat evil. It will be so. There's no doubts. Welcome to the system. Come join MM and together we can fight or we can change the world. Thanks and bye-bye.